So, as I said, I hope you still can recognize me, short hair. I think it's 1 more minute, but we already can slowly start to come in a sitting pose. I'm just waiting for 1 more minute that we can all start together. So please, yeah, if you are here already, wonderful. Please find a comfortable seat, and I'm just waiting this minute that everyone is here. So I'm still getting used to this sitting in front of an iPhone, gazing into an empty room, knowing you are here in this wild world, sitting with me right now. It is a beautiful and a strange sensation. So wonderful you are here. I'm really happy being able to join you, to meet you, to see you like this. So I think the minute is just gone and we can start. Find a comfortable seat. Use a blanket, use a pillow, pushing with your hands, your flesh to the side, helping with your hands, rolling your inner thighs towards the ceiling. This gives you a bit more space in your inner groins, making sure you're releasing your knees, lifting your spine, lifting your shoulders, roll them back and down, releasing them down, lifting your shoulders, roll them back and down, placing your hands on your knees or in front of your belly, what feels a bit more comfortable, closing your eyes and giving yourself a moment, bringing your awareness towards yourself, collecting your energy. And maybe you are kind of a bit in a similar place like I am. It's really, with this all what's happening, kind of feeling overwhelmed, threatened, fearful, anxieties kicking in, worries. It is difficult to really coming home, feeling body, being able to sense body as there is a bit of a friction of this vibrating, not knowing. For many of us, meeting, not knowing, literally, we can go kind of, oh yeah, I don't know. It's quite high up in mind. When we face these situations of really deeply not knowing, it gets a bit more intense. Loads of emotions, loads of thoughts, depending how we are wired, is kicking up, meeting us. So maybe for this 75 minutes of practice, bringing your focus into coming home, sensing your body, feeling the warmth of your hands, feeling the weight of your bones, the softness of your muscles, your heart beating, your breath naturally flowing. Maybe you feel your mind moving. When you leave the content, it is energy moving. Like energy moving in your belly of digesting. Like energy moving in your muscles when we start to move. Let yourself coming home, entering your body, sensing your body. That's the only home we have, in fact. And for today's pranayama, let's take Kalapati, fire breath, or skull shining breath. So some of you know it already. For some of you, maybe you don't know how to do it. It is this breath where we exhaling, sucking belly in, keeping lips gently closed, activating this nostril breathing. It is a very active breathing from our diaphragm, from Uddiyana Bandha, from this diaphragm pumping up and down, activated throughout the muscles in our abdominals. So you want to focus when you're exhaling on sucking your belly in, like now if you can see it, may be a tiny bit easier when I'm like this. And it makes a bit of a sound as you're really pressing this air out. So you can be slowly like this, or you can get a tiny bit more rhythmic and keeping your energy, your breath in mind, like inhaling deeply, lengthening your spine, bringing your fingertips forward, stay long in your spine, exhaling with a deep, deep exhaling, opening your mouth, your eyes, like stay empty for a moment, sucking your belly in, lengthening spine. Maybe you can lean even a tiny bit forward without breathing, holding your breath out. Inhaling, walking your hands back into your neutral, letting go, exhaling. This time we want to bring arms over your head, interlacing your fingers, point with your index finger, releasing your shoulders. One more round in Kalapati, fire breath. Inhaling halfway and inhaling long and deep, holding your breath, exhaling, bringing your hands in front, fingertips, walking forward, leaning forward a tiny bit, exhaling, stay, or leaning forward even a tiny bit more, melting, stay empty. Inhaling, walking back with your hands, exhaling, release. One more time, inhaling. This time, you bring your arms over your head. You're making a fist with your left hand pointing, with your thumb pointing up, bringing your right hand on your chest. It's called the ego eraser. So you're bringing your hand, warming your heart, warming your belly, and one more round in your Kalapati. Inhaling halfway, and start. Inhaling long and deep. Exhaling, opening your left hand, bringing your left hand on top of your right, bringing your chin towards your sternum and stay empty. Internally gazing towards your heart, into your belly, feeling this fire burning into your belly, your home nice and warm, your heart protected. Releasing your arms, inhaling, sweep your arms over your head, exhaling, releasing your arms towards the side, lifting your shoulders, rolling them back and down, arms over your head with your inhaling, exhaling, arms on your side, lifting your shoulders, rolling back and down. Last time, inhaling, exhaling, staying down with your fingertips meeting the floor, and start releasing your right ear towards your right shoulder. Inhaling, back center, exhaling, left ear, left shoulder, inhaling, center, exhaling, right ear, right shoulder, inhaling, center, exhaling. Inhaling in your center, sweep your arms over your head, turning to your right side, gentle twisting. Right hand in line with your spine, left hand on your right knee, gaze over your right shoulder, stay. Breathe deeply. Exhaling, stay. One more inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling, coming back into your neutral. Exhaling, turning to your left side, right hand outside, left knee, left hand in line with your spine. Gaze over your shoulder. Inhaling, coming back with your arms in your neutral. Exhaling, bringing your arms towards the side, palms of your hands facing up, taking a couple of cat-cow breathing in your sitting. Exhaling, rounding your spine, bringing your elbows, meeting your hands. Inhaling, arching forward from your belly, gaze towards the ceiling. Inhaling, exhale, inhaling, opening up, exhaling, rounding, inhaling, opening up, exhaling, round. One more time, inhaling, opening up, staying here, opening your chest. Releasing your arms on your side, sweep your arms over your head, gaze in line with your fingers. Exhaling, opening arms, gaze towards your belly button. Two more times. Inhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Stay. Inhaling, release. Take all away what you're sitting on in case you use a blanket or a pillow, planting your feet onto the floor, giving them a bit of a shaking, letting them rotate one side to the other side to ease what you've been holding in your hips, in your legs. Swing your knees under you, finding your tabletop, your hip fingers spreading wide, making sure your middle finger is in your center, so avoiding letting your hands coming to the side dropping into your shoulders, falling in elbows, planting your hands, spreading them wide, your knees under your hips, and from here, one more time, a bit of a cat-cow, inhaling, gazing up, exhaling, rounding, inhaling, gazing up, keep on moving in your cat-cow, inhaling, hello mama and papa, exhaling, exhaling, inhaling, stay in your center, letting your right hip floating to your right side, gaze over your left shoulder, inhaling in your neutral, exhaling the opposite side, inhaling in your neutral, exhale, inhaling neutral, exhaling one more time each side, inhaling neutral, inhaling, coming in your center, walking your arms forward, coming into your puppy pose. So your hips stay over your knees, gazing forward from your chest, pushing your seat, lifting your belly, your mula bandha, lengthening. So you wanna releasing armpits, your chest. Maybe you wanna gaze towards your knees or your gaze in line with your fingers, depending how flexible your shoulders are, making sure you do not fall into your lower back. Releasing your elbows onto the floor, sliding forward, so your elbows coming under your shoulders, big toes touching, inner thighs rolling towards the ceiling, elbows under your shoulders, making sure you do not have your elbows too far away and not too open up. So you really want to bring your elbows under your shoulders, spreading your fingers wide, rolling back your shoulders, creating a bit of energy in your belly, pulling your hands towards your heart, pressing your 10 toes flat into the floor. You want to toning up a tiny bit while you're lifting your hips, gaze towards your toes, breathe, rooting down from your elbows. Breathe, stay one more breath. Exhaling, releasing down, and from here you're pressing your hands, lifting your heart, stay, or maybe you can lifting your elbows, coming into your springs, shoulders rolling back. Energetically, you want to pulling your hands towards your heart. Exhaling, coming onto the floor, bringing your hands under your shoulders, elbows glued to your body, curling your toes, rooting down from your knees, lengthening your spine, stay with your toes, curl under, lengthening your spine. Inhaling, sliding your hands under your shoulders, stay with your toes curled under, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Breathe, shaking your head, walking your feet a tiny bit. So you're walking, paddling your feet. Breathe, Jacob, stay in your downward facing dog, bending your knees, Jacob, a tiny bit, bending your knees, and you're lifting, this is it, pushing your hips up, pushing your hips up even more, this is it, beautiful. Breathe. Stepping your feet together, turning your toes, facing your left side, bending your knees slightly to your left side, gaze under your right armpit, feeling this nice stretch on your side. Inhaling back into your center, turning your toes to your right, gently bending your knees, pressing both hands, gaze under your left armpit. Inhaling, coming back into your neutral, lifting your right leg towards the ceiling, bending your knee, stepping your right foot between your hands. Please remember, when this is difficult, you come onto your knees, stepping your right foot, and then from here you're curling your left toes, links. Breathe, releasing your left knee onto the floor, releasing your left toes, lengthening your right leg. So as if you want to sitting back, and then you're lifting your foot, coming, rooting down from your heel, releasing your neck. Inhaling, planting your right foot, curling left toes, lengthening both of your legs. Maybe you need to come tiny bit higher to lengthening your leg, or you stay halfway bent, or you have blocks around. Inhaling, bending your left knee one more time, releasing your toes, sitting back, lengthening. First you stay with your foot on the floor, and then you're lifting, rooting down from your heel and lengthening. Inhaling, planting your right foot, lifting your left toes, lengthening both. Inhaling, bending your left knee, and your last time you're lengthening, lifting your heel. Inhaling, planting your right foot, coming forward from your hips, planting your left hand onto the floor, right hand on your right knee. Turning around, see me better. Lifting your right arm towards the ceiling, stay with your knee. Some people can, curling toes and lengthening your leg. Right. Some people can open palm of your hand. Maybe you want to find the bind, opening your chest. You can do the same with your knee down. So you can open your chest towards the ceiling. Inhaling, releasing your hand back onto the floor, stepping back, finding your high plank pose, pushing with your heels hard between your hands. Breathe, releasing your knees, your toes, coming with your elbows onto the floor, sliding forward like we've done in warming up, rolling back shoulders, lifting hard. Maybe you can lift your elbows, depending on the flexibility of your lower back. Stay like you are, or maybe you can bending both of your knees, gaze towards the ceiling. Exhaling, releasing down, planting your hands under your shoulders, curling your toes, lifting your seat, find your down dog. Depth in your breath, breathe. People with a bit tight hamstrings, bending your knees. Depth in your breath. Stepping your feet together, lifting your left leg towards the ceiling. Chain, stay in your down dog, and then you're stepping your left foot between your legs, between your hands, sorry. Stepping your left foot, maybe you come down onto your knees, stepping your left foot, curling your right toes, and here you are, lengthening your spine. Releasing your right knee, your right toes, lengthening your left leg. First you stay with your foot on the floor, and then you want to rooting from your heel, lifting your foot. Inhaling, planting your foot, curling your right toes, both legs wanna lengthening. Maybe you need to come up a tiny bit. Maybe you organized a pot or a block or some books to help to come onto with your hands. Doesn't matter how far you come down. Bending your right knee, releasing toes, lengthening your left leg, and you want to squaring your hips. Relax. Inhaling, bending front knee, curling back toes, lengthening both of your legs. Lengthening both of your legs. Lengthening, stay. Inhaling, bending back your knee. I'm just checking sometimes when I'm leaving the screen if I can see and support you. You want to lengthening your left leg and lifting your toes, pressing your heels into the floor. Inhaling, planting your foot, and one more time. And inhaling, bending your front knee, planting your hands, stepping back, finding your hip length. Stay here for a moment, rolling back your shoulders, activating your heels, gazing from your heart 20 centimeters forward. You can release your knees, coming down onto your elbows, or for some people, maybe you want to come onto your forearm plank. Stay here for one breath. Exhaling, releasing belly, button, pubic bone, big toes touching, coming into your sphinx. Stay on your elbows and or lifting your elbows, pulling hands towards your heart. Maybe you can bending your knees, planting your belly button, pubic bone onto the floor, gaze towards the inhaling, releasing, planting your hands under your shoulders, rooting down from your knees, lifting your seat in your down dog. Brace, bending your knees, gaze between your hands, walking your feet forward between your hands. Inhaling, coming halfway. Exhaling, folding forward. I know we forgot something, so we need to go back. Inhaling, gazing forward. Stepping your right foot back, releasing your right knee. Planting your right hand onto the floor, left hand on your left knee, gaze over your shoulder. You stay here when this is good enough, or you're lifting your left arm, or you're curling your right toes under from here. Maybe you have space, finding a bind, rooting from your right hand. Chain right hand onto the floor and left arm in. Breathe. Exhaling, planting your hand back onto the floor. Let's step back one more time to gain a bit more strength in your high plank. Choose, you want to come, releasing your knees and come down onto your elbows, or you do a forearm plank, pushing with your heels opening your chest, always trying to get as light as possible. Exhaling, releasing when you've been down, big toes touching, coming back one more time, lifting your heart. And from here we can gaze over your right shoulder, gently bending your left elbow a tiny bit. Inhaling, coming back into your neutral. Exhaling, bending your right elbow a tiny bit and gaze left shoulder. Inhaling back into your neutral. Exhaling onto your belly, hands under your shoulders, lifting your seat, down dog. Letting your head shaking, squeezing your face, making some funky faces. Bending your knees, gaze between your hands, walking your feet forward, stepping your feet hip width apart, hugging your elbows, ragdoll, gently bending your knees. Letting yourself folding forward. Uttanasana, forward fold, surrender. Inhaling, coming halfway, planting your hands on your hips, gazing forward. Exhaling, folding forward one more time, please bending your knees when you need. Inhaling, pressing your hands into your hips into your feet, and come into your standing, releasing your arms on your side. Sweep your arms over your head with your right hand. You're grabbing your left wrist, lengthening. Exhale. Inhaling in your center. Exhaling, grabbing with your left hand your right wrist and reach with your fingers towards your left side, both feet pressing into the floor. Inhaling, coming back. Exhaling, bringing your arms around, finding your hands on your sacrum, gently bending your knees, rolling back your shoulders. You want to have your knees gently bent. When you have legs really long, it's much more difficult for your lower back. So you want to stay gently with your knees bent, opening your chest and gaze towards the sun. Inhaling, coming back into your neutral. Stay soft in your knees, arms on your side, closing your eyes for a moment. And gently find a nice little shaking from your soles of your feet. You're connecting with the center of Mother Earth. So you're finding this vibration, letting your body shaking, your shoulders softening, letting this shaking grow a tiny bit bigger. Opening your mouth, letting your lips become very gentle, very soft. Exhaling 2 more times, really nice. Maybe with a sound. And gently letting this shaking slowing down so it shakes more internally, like you've been sweeping out your home, sweeping out your house from all the dust what you don't need anymore. Cleansing and cleaning your home with your breath, with your movements. Inhaling, sweep your arms over your head. Exhaling, one dive forward, bending your knees, stepping your right foot back, long runner's lunge, gazing forward. Exhaling, stepping back in your high plank. Exhaling, releasing knees, toes, coming down onto the floor. Inhaling, sneaking in your mini cobra. There is no weight on your hands. Toes pressing into the floor, reaching forward from your arms. Exhaling, elbows glued to your body. Inhaling forward. Exhale. Inhaling, reach. Exhale. Inhaling, reach. Exhaling, planting your hands, curling your toes. Downward facing dog, stepping your feet together, lifting your right leg. Inhaling, exhaling, stepping your right foot between your hands, long runner's lunge, gazing forward, stepping both feet in front halfway, folding forward in your Uttanasana. Inhaling, coming in your standing, bringing your prayer in front of your chest, releasing your arms. Inhaling, sweep. Exhaling, folding forward, stepping your left foot back. Long runner's lunge. Inhaling, gazing forward, stepping back in your high plank. Exhaling, your knees, your toes, chin, chest, meeting the floor, sneaking forward. Inhaling, mini cobra. Making sure your toes pressing down, making sure your belly button, pubic bone pressing down, reaching forward from your arms. Exhaling, elbows. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling, stay. Planting your hands, curling your toes, lifting your seat in your downward facing dog, stepping your feet together, lifting your left leg towards the ceiling. Exhaling, stepping your left foot between your hands, long runner's lunge. Inhaling. Exhaling, both feet. Stay here for a moment. Breathe. You want to lifting your heels coming onto the balls of your feet and your heels meeting your seat, gazing forward. One more, a bit more warming up from your belly. Deep breath, Kalapati breath. And we want to add some movement. So you're planting your fingertips in front of you. For some people, maybe you cannot lengthen your legs. It doesn't matter. So I demo ones that you can see. You want to inhaling, opening your chest, exhaling. Maybe you stay with your knees bent. It doesn't matter. You want to releasing your neck. What you want to activate is your deep down in your belly. So your whole spine gets free to breathe. So you're inhaling, lengthening, opening your front side, exhaling. And you can take it slow, or you can speeding up a tiny bit, letting your body taking over. Sitting down, lengthening your legs, arms on your side. Opening your arms towards the ceiling, exhaling, folding forward, releasing your neck. Activating your breath Deep down in your belly, you're firing up, like you're keeping your home nice and warm, so your heart can rest. Your heart can be nourished from the warmth. Inhaling, coming back in your sitting, letting your hands sliding behind you, rolling back your shoulders, reaching forward from your balls of your feet, lifting up. Your whole front side is opening up. There's your breath. Exhaling, coming back down onto your seat, swinging your knees under you, finding back into your tabletop, hands under your shoulders. Inhaling, gazing up, curling your toes in your downward facing dog. Bending your knees, gaze between your hands, hopping, stepping, or walking forward. Inhaling, coming halfway, folding forward. In your exhaling, inhaling, coming in your standing. Exhaling, bringing your fingers, your hands in front of your heart. Close your eyes. Breathe. Releasing your arms. Sweep your arms over your head. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, stepping your right foot back. Open it 45 degrees. I'm just turning around. You see me better. Trikonasana, triangle. So your right foot 45 degrees, making sure it's not to the side. So you want to bring your heel a tiny bit back, your toes facing front. Heels are in one line. Left hand on the floor, on your ankle, on your shin bone. Right hand on your hips. Letting your first opening your whole side. So you want to face it. Your right hip is opening. Making sure you're avoiding collapsing forward like this. So please, coming a tiny bit higher when you need to, opening your right arm towards the ceiling. Feeling this line from your arms. Breathe. Stay in your Trikonasana. Breathe. Breathe. Inhaling, bringing your right hand back onto your hip, both hands onto your hips, turning your right toes a tiny bit more in front, that you can find a gentle leaning forward. Both hips square. From here, you're turning your right shoulder towards your left side in a gentle twisting. Again, maybe you stay here, you just turn. Maybe you can release your hand on your shin bone, ankle, or you come onto the floor. Maybe your left arm can reach towards the ceiling in your twisted triangle breath. Your belly is active breathing. Your heart is melting. Exhaling, planting your hands back onto the floor, gazing forward and stepping back into your high plank. Exhaling, choose knees, chin, chest, Chaturanga, Dandasana. When you want to do is pushing your heels, gazing forward. You're lowering down, heart towards the floor, and then from here you're pushing yourself up in your upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog, bending your knees slightly when you need, spreading your fingers wide, lengthening your arms, shaking your head. Stay in your down dog. 2 more deep, long breaths. Bending your knees, gaze between your hands, hopping, walking, stepping forward, lengthening, inhaling, folding forward with your exhaling. Inhaling, come in, you're standing. Exhaling, bring your prayer in front of your heart, closing your eyes. Breathe, releasing your arms, sweep your arms over your head, folding forward from your hips, really letting your knees bend when you need so. Folding forward, stepping your left foot back, open it 45 degrees, making sure your toes pointing forward, heels in line, so making sure you do not cross your heels, your line, so you do not bring your left heel towards your right side. You want to have your heels in line, lengthening both of your legs, resting your right hand, shin bone on your knee or on your thigh, it doesn't matter. You want to opening your torso, opening your hip, Trikonasana, breathe. Depth in your breath. Steadiness in your mind. Breathe. Inhaling, gazing towards the floor, both hands on your hips. First, you want to lengthening. Maybe this is good enough for you. You stay or you're twisting your triangle, Trikonasana. Left hand inside, on top, shin bone, thigh, or you come with your left hand on the outside, turning your torso and lifting your right arm. Breath. Do not give up. Play with your balances. Play with your body. Moving it up, opening it up. Inhaling, coming back with your hand, bending your front knee, stepping back in your high plank. Exhaling, knees, chin, chest, or Chaturanga Dandasana. You're bending your elbows, sliding forward in your inhaling, exhaling, rolling over your toes with your exhaling. Stay in your down dog, making sure you're spreading your fingers. You're opening your arms, bending your knees when you need. Raise, lifting your seat. When you're bending your knees, you want to even lifting your seat a tiny bit more. Bending your knees, gaze between your hands, hopping, walking, or stepping forward. Inhaling, coming halfway. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, come in, you're standing. Exhaling, bringing your prayer in front of your heart. Close your eyes for a moment. Releasing your arms, inhaling, sweep. Exhaling, folding forward. Second warrior, bending your knees, stepping your right foot back, open it 45 degrees, bending your left knee, reaching forward from your right arm, windmill your right arm back, and come in your second warrior. Bending your front knee even a tiny bit more, gazing over your front arm with your exhaling, gaze over your right. Inhaling, gazing into the future. Exhaling, gazing into the past. Inhaling, gaze into the future, and you stay in your presence. Inhaling, gazing forward, releasing your right hand, lifting your left arm, gaze towards the ceiling, bending your front knee. Inhaling, coming back, exhaling, releasing your elbow onto the floor, onto your knee, sorry. Reaching with your right arm over your head, side ankle. Breathe. Releasing your left hand when you have space. Please stay on your knee when you need. Inhaling, reaching with your right arm towards the ceiling. Exhaling, lifting yourself up without coming really up. And arms windmill forward, hands stepping back in your downward facing dog. Maybe you want to rest in your child pose, taking a child pose. Maybe you want to find your downward facing dog, staying here, or you're taking one more vinyasa. Knees, chin, chest, chaturanga, whatever feels right for you. Inhaling, lifting your heart. Exhaling, downward facing dog, stay. Breath. Walking forward, hopping forward, stepping forward with your exhaling. Come with your feet between your hands. Inhaling halfway, exhaling, folding forward. Listen. Utkatasana, bending your knees, letting your arms swinging like monkey arms. Long arms, easy arms, strong in your belly, in your thighs, rooting towards the center of this planet, and you want to lifting yourself up. Stay with your knees bent, making sure you do not fall into your lower back. You bring your tailbone reaching towards your heels. Rolling back shoulders, exhaling, folding forward. Uttanasana, inhaling, coming halfway. Exhaling, your left foot steps back 45 degrees, right knee bent, lifting, rolling. So you windmill your arm backwards. So you're reaching forward from your left arm, windmill back, opening your hips. Releasing your toes, breath, shoulders, releasing, bending your front knee a tiny bit more, and you want to gaze over your back arm, inhaling over your front arm, keep on moving a tiny bit more, easing in your shoulders, easing in your neck, and being aware we do have a past, we do have a future, and you stay in your presence. Stay at home. Palm of your hand, flipping, reverse, warrior, bending your front knee. Breathe. Inhaling, coming back into your second warrior, releasing your right elbow on your knee, on your thigh, and reach with your left arm over your head. Please stay here. Some people are a bit more flexible. You can reach with your right hand towards the floor, making sure your right knee do not float into the inside, and you're bending your knee. Your left arm reaches towards the ceiling, gaze in line with your fingers. Exhaling, coming in your second warrior windmill. Your left arm forward, turning your left toes, stepping back in your high plank. Chaturanga Dandasana, knees, chin, chest, child pose. Please practice for your own. Inhaling up, exhaling. Wherever you are in child pose, releasing for a moment in your child pose. When you are in your down dog, find ease, find lightness, letting this energy in your belly being warm, active, your heart supported by a strong core, by a warm fire in your belly. Bending your knees. When you are in your child pose, come in your downward facing dog. Bending your knees, gazing forward, hopping, walking, stepping forward. Stepping your feet together, gazing forward, folding Uttanasana, forward fold. Bending your knees, one more monkey arms, letting your arms swinging. A long spine, easy arms, strong base, so you can lifting with your next inhaling. Bringing your prayer in front of your chest, closing your eyes. Feeling your heart beating, feeling your breath flow. Strong base, warm belly, soft heart, open mind. Releasing your arms, and let's take a balancing pose. Let's take the eagle pose. So you want to stepping your feet a tiny bit apart so you can bending both of your knees, your hands first on your hips, finding your inner gaze, finding your inner balance, finding your breath, bringing your weight on your left side, lifting your right knee and planting your right knee on top of your left. First step. Maybe you can wriggle your right foot around your left calf muscle. Not important. You can rest your right toes on the outside if you need. Bending both knees, spine long. Maybe this is already good enough. You stay. I'm wobbly today. Arms on your side. Bring your right arm crossing first, left arm on top. Eagle arms. When this is difficult, bring your hands on your shoulders. So you can practice in your eagle like this, or you're lifting your arms, palms of your hands meeting, pushing your elbows forward a tiny bit, sitting down a tiny bit more, releasing your head in your upper arms. Sorry, I'm wobbly today, I'm not a good mood. Maybe you can come into your sleeping eagle. You're folding forward, your elbows meeting your knees. Inhaling, coming back in your neutral, planting your right foot next to your left, lengthening both of your legs, releasing your arms, sweep your arms, growing. Exhaling your prayer, bending both of your knees, lifting your left heel, planting your left foot on top of your right. Maybe you're wriggling your foot around your calf muscles, opening your arms, Exhaling, left arm first, right arm on top, lifting your elbows, pushing your elbows forward. Sit, breathe. Maybe you can come into your sleeping eagle. Inhaling, coming back into your neutral, planting your left foot, releasing your arms. Sweep your arms over your head with your inhaling, exhaling, folding forward. Uttanasana, bending your knees, stepping back, downward facing dog, spreading your fingers. Inhaling, coming onto your knees, opening your knees, mat width apart, big toes touching. Shooting back from your seat, palms of your hands opening up in your child pose. Tucking your tailbone in, walking your hands towards your knees, closing your knees and letting your feet opening, helping with your hands, rolling your calf muscles towards the side. Maybe you can sit in between. Maybe you did bring a cushion or a blanket. So you want to use your blanket and sitting, or you have a block, or you have some books. So if you need, when you feel it's hurting your knees and it's a bit too difficult, please use a blanket or something you can help yourself to lifting up. For some people, when this is easy, or so you can stay here, bringing your hands on your soles of your feet, helping yourself lifting up. You can stay here, or you're walking your hands back, come onto your elbows, making sure when you're coming down, you do not fall into your lower back. So you want to bring your sacrum onto the floor, releasing your belly down. You do not need to come down like this. When you are that flexible, you can bring your arms over your head. Gaze internal. Thigh stretch is wonderful to all these stored energies we are holding back. Releasing any weight, wherever you are, when you are on the floor or when you're sitting here. It is the same stretch for you. So don't worry wherever you are. Slowly, when you've been leaning down, coming onto your elbows, hands reaching forward, everyone come onto your hands, stretching your left leg, curling your toes, lifting your right arm. Exhaling, releasing knee, releasing hand, curling right toes, lengthening right leg, lifting your left arm. Exhaling, coming back, sitting on your seat, coming onto your knees, curling your toes, making sure your knees are hip width apart, so you do not have very big hips in general. This is not hip width, so you want to bring your knees really under your hips, curling your toes under. We want to take back bending, hands on your sacrum, rolling back your shoulders. First step. Second step, shoulders, elbows want to reach towards the heels, helping with your hands to lengthening your lower back. So you want to help to pushing your seat forward, opening your chest. Maybe you have space coming down with your hands on your heels, opening your chest. Stay here for 2 more breaths, wherever you are. Inhaling, hands back onto your hips, sitting on your heels, squashing your toes, hands in front of your heart, closing your eyes.